life processes in living organisms, and in this unit, the last unit of this lesson, we will be learning about chemical control. Now, control and coordination in the body or human body is affected by the nerves or nervous control, where the impulses which are carried by neurons are short-lived and they are very fast. Control and coordination also takes place due to chemical control in the body. Action of hormones, which are the liquid or the substance that is released, due to which there is chemical control. So the action of these hormones is slow but very long lasting. So nervous control and chemical control are both responsible for the control and coordination in the human body. Control and coordination in the body is also brought about by chemical substances called hormones. Now these hormones are secreted by glands called endocrine glands. They are also called ductless glands because they cannot store or carry their secretions. They don't have any tubes to send their secretions called hormones to all parts of the body. Therefore, as soon as they secrete their hormones, these secretions are directly released into the blood circulation, and via the blood they reach all parts of the body. Now, endocrine glands along with the nervous system are totally responsible for the control and coordination of the body. These two systems help each other. They integrate the functions and the activities of the body, and therefore our body is controlled and coordinated. Now, one big difference, as I have told you before, is that nerve impulses are fast and short-lived, whereas action of hormones is slow, but it is long-lasting. So we have the pineal gland over here, okay, secreting a hormone, and here in this the second diagram, we have the nerve impulses, both equally responsible for the control and coordination of the body. In this figure, you will see the position of all endocrine glands in the human body. It is very important that hormones which are secreted from these endocrine glands are only secreted in the required quantity. They are required in very less quantity, and it is very important that it is not secreted more than required or less than required. Now there is a special mechanism which controls the quantity and also the timing of hormone secretion. For example, when blood glucose level increases in the body, then at that time certain cells in the pancreas, they get stimulated, and as a response they release a greater quantity of insulin, and that insulin gets the blood sugar level to the quantity that level that it is required in the body. Okay, so by itself there is a self-working mechanism not regulated by us, which decides how much of hormones are required and when they are. Look at the figure right in the brain. On top here we have the pineal gland. Okay, lower down here we have the pituitary gland, shown clearly here, pineal and pituitary gland. Then when we come lower down, we have the thyroid gland here. This is the thyroid gland. Okay, and within the thyroid gland there are 4 parathyroid glands here. Yeah, so these thyroid glands here on opposite sides of the trachea. This is your trachea. Then lower we have the thymus gland. Coming lower down into the abdominal cavity, we have both the kidneys, and over the kidneys, or situated above the kidneys, are the adrenal glands. Then in the abdominal cavity, the pancreas. Now, if it is a human woman or female, then ovaries are present. This is the female reproductive system. So we have ovaries, which are glands, and if it is a male, then we have testes, which is an endocrine gland. The endocrine glands, their location and important functions. The first gland is the hypothalamus, which is situated above the pituitary gland in the forebrain, the brain which is right on top, that is the cerebrum. Now this is important because it secretes the hormones which control the activity of the pituitary gland. So the main function of the hypothalamus is to control the pituitary gland. Then we come to the important pituitary gland situated at the base of the brain. Okay. Now this gland secretes so many hormones and is responsible for many functions. For example, the growth hormone, which stimulates the growth of bones. Adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates the adrenal gland, and the thyroid stimulating hormone, which stimulates the thyroid gland. Then we have prolactin, which stimulates milk production in females. The follicle stimulating hormone, which controls the growth of gonads in males. Luteinizing hormone controls menstrual cycle or the period and ovulation in females. Oxytocin, which contracts the uterus or brings the uterus back to being normal after the birth of the baby or parturition. Antidiuretic hormone, which regulates the water level in the body. So if you see all the functions that are taking place because of the hormone secreted by the pituitary gland, you'll realize how important it is, how important the pituitary gland is. Next we have the thyroid. It is on anterolateral sides of the trachea in the neck region, on both sides of the trachea in the neck region in front. Okay. Hormone secreted, first hormone is thyroxine, which controls the growth of body and metabolic activities, and next hormone is calcitonin, which controls the calcium metabolism and calcium level in the blood. After that we have the parathyroid glands, 4 glands behind the thyroid gland, which is there in your diagram. Okay. Hormone secreted is parathormone, which controls the metabolism of calcium and phosphorus. Some more glands, some more endocrine glands, beginning with the pancreas. They are behind the stomach and consist of 4 types of cells, that is alpha cells, 20% of them, beta cells mainly 70%, delta cells 5%, and PP cells or F cells 5%. Hormones secreted: glucagon, insulin, somatostatin, pancreatic polypeptide. Now, glucagon stimulates the liver to convert glycogen into glucose. Okay. Insulin stimulates the liver again to convert excess blood sugar into glycogen and controls the levels of insulin in the body and glucagon. Somatostatin controls movements of the intestine and thereby help in glucose absorption. And pancreatic polypeptide controls the secretion of pancreatic juice. Next endocrine gland is the adrenal gland, situated at the anterior end, that is over on top of the kidneys. Now, hormone secreted adrenaline, okay, which controls behavior during crisis and emotional situations. Like for example, if suddenly you're walking on the road and this dog, very harshly comes in front of you barking, you are frightened, immediately adrenaline will go right through your body. So it tries to control behavior when you are in trauma or crisis. Then the next hormone is non-adrenaline, stimulates the heart and its conducting tissue and metabolic process, and corticosteroid, which maintains the balance of sodium and potassium ions and stimulates metabolism. Metabolism means the total functioning of the body, your digestion, circulation, etc. Okay. Then we have the ovary. Two ovaries on either side of the uterus in women. Important hormone secreted is estrogen, which stimulates the growth of the endometrium. Now, endometrium is the inner lining of the uterus. Also, it stimulates the growth of secondary sexual characteristics in women. Like at the age of 13, 14, 15, you will find there are certain bodily changes that take place in females. So, estrogen is the hormone responsible for that. Another hormone is progesterone. Now, this prepares the endometrium or the inner lining of the uterus for conception and maintains the pregnancy, meaning the endometrium of the uterus where the baby is going to be there, it starts getting thicker and it becomes ready for the baby to come there and remain there comfortably for 9 months. Then we have testes present in the scrotum region, the lower abdominal region of the body. It secretes the hormone testosterone. This is responsible for growth of secondary sexual characteristics in males like beard, mustache, the hoarse voice, that little lump in the throat, the bone sticking out. These are the secondary characteristics, sexual characteristics in males. And finally, we have the thymus present in the thoracic cage. The thoracic cage is the rib cage near the heart. It secretes thymosin. Okay, very important, and we know today that we need immunity. Okay, immunity to fight diseases. We have learned the word immunity very well in today's situation with the COVID. Okay, so thymosin is that hormone which controls the cells rather, which give rise to immunity. And here we have the pineal gland, pituitary, important glands, thyroid, parathyroid glands, the adrenal glands, the pancreas.